Diamond is here again with another video. I finally made 3 videos in 3 days. The last time I did that was probably years ago. I straight up don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go directly to the video. This video is about Inanimate Fightout. Inanimate Fightout is one of the longest object shows when it comes to like time. It began in production on August 2012, so it's soon going to be 14 years old. Inanimate Season 2 did also get extremely long, but not as much. You could technically say BFDIA because it began on June and ended recently, but there was a time period of like 7 years where it was cancelled, so it doesn't count. Anyways, one thing I always noticed is that many of the episodes were contestant votes. Sorry, I'm doing this for a script. And so, despite the contestant voting, the votes were never revealed. We don't know who voted for who and who got what votes. So, I think I'm honestly going to do this. Since nobody else is doing this, who voted for who in Inanimate Fightout? We are going to begin with episode 6. The episode 6 is a little easier because we know how many votes everybody got. If you go back to the episode, you're going to see Cola Can got 1 vote, Ball and Star also got 1 vote, and Face got 2. So Kool-Aid was eliminated with 4. The first thing I think I'm going to do is put Cola Can. He certainly voted for Kool-Aid. The reason I think this is because he was very happy when she got eliminated and he was waiting for the tosser. Because of this, I also imagine that his vote was from her. Nobody actually hated him back then, as he still wasn't crazy or some terrible leader. So there's no reason for anybody to vote for him, but he seems to hate her, so I think she would vote for him. Ball's vote is also very obvious. It's certainly Jack. In episode 4, Ball threw Jack in a fucking fire. And Jack would take revenge of this in episode 6, when he did that through her. No, he popped her with a nail on the caves. There's still 2 votes for Face, 1 vote for Star, and 3 votes for Kool-Aid. I think I'm gonna put Kool-Aid's votes next. Ball, Sword, and Face. I'm going to move Star here. Reason being for these guys is that Ball was pretty close to Cola Can. Face was with Cola Can in episode 5 when they were making fun of Bowl, and Sword was one of the few bummed with Cola Can's elimination in episode 8. Actually, he was the one that mainly talked about it, so I think he had relations with Cola Can. This leaves us with 2 votes for Face and 1 vote for Star. I think Star would vote for Face, because he wouldn't vote for himself. Elisubuck and Frisbee don't really have a reason to vote for Face or Star, but with what I saw of the characters, I think Elisubuck would more likely vote for Face than for Star, because of how she acts with characters that are a little weird. But these 2 are a toss-up, as I said. Next up, Inanimate Fightout Episode 12. Now, for this episode, I'm going to introduce something that happened before, which is, here's what I learned. I'd say I learned. When a character's name says safe in a rapid-fire way, they are likely safe with 0 votes. When a character's name is said otherwise, they likely got votes. So this episode, everybody's name was said in rapid-fire, with the exception of Jack and Crystal, as well as Soda Can and Disc. So here's what I think. Both teams probably had the idea to split their votes. I think that seems a little realistic. Firstly, now, Soda and Jack, I think they would vote for Crystal. Meanwhile, Dr. Lemon and Coaster would vote for Disc. Reason being is that when Dr. Lemon and Coaster got there, Dr. Lemon said that it was a bad call to see them Disc and Triangle fighting. So I imagine the two probably chose Disc because of that. She would be an easier target. The other two just ended up voting for Crystal. No real reason, but Crystal was the only one who had votes, so I think it would have been Crystal. There's no reason for it to be anybody else because logic. Let me just move closer here. Well, what about DS? Does he go for Disc or does he go for Crystal? I think DS would go for actually Jack. DS was mad in future episodes that Jack brought the oven and blamed it on DS. So I think DS wouldn't let it go and would go for Jack. As for everybody else, what about them? Well, here's the thing. Since Triangle didn't get any votes, there's no way Disc voted for Triangle. I think Disc would choose, they would go for voting Soda Can. He'd bring Board along, and Crystal. For Board and Crystal, I'm going to explain it now. When Disc got eliminated, Board was sad. So, I think this is why Board was sad, because he voted with Disc. As for Crystal, I don't remember if Crystal was sad when Disc got eliminated, but either way, I think she'd actually let this go and vote for somebody from the other team. However, since Disc got eliminated, Triangle certainly voted for Disc, alongside Lightning Bolt and MP3. MP3 and Lightning Bolt were definitely pretty angry at Disc and Triangle for fighting the entire time in the episode, so I think they just do anything to make these two stop. So, I think they decided Triangle and eliminating Disc. Next up, we've reached the merge for episode 13. Everybody's name was said in rapid fire, with the exception of, first off, Ball and Board, then Triangle and Star. The first two at the same time and the other two at the same time as well. Jack, and then LSU Book. I think, first of all, Board's one vote, who would it be? It would definitely be Triangle, for the reason seen in episode 12. Ball votes for Jack, and Jack votes for Ball, is what I would say. However, we're gonna explain later. Triangle, however, got 2 votes. Certainly, at least I think, they would come from Board, get out of the way Lightning Bolt, and Crystal. As for the rest, I think Lightning Bolt will go for Star, because he's a threat, and Coaster will go for Star, because Star is mean. This leaves us with 7 people. Jack was certainly voted by LSU Book, alongside Dr. Lemon, and MP3, because they are in an alliance. So you may say, would these 4 vote for LSU Book? And I say, yes. Because here's why. If you check in episode 12, Star, Ball, and Frisbee, at least Star and Frisbee, made a deal that LSU Book would get voted off if or when they lost. So I personally think they do that. They would continue on that transition. There's no way Frisbee Ball wouldn't join. I almost said Frisbee, because Ball didn't like that conflict either. Why would DS join though, you may ask? Simple. As much as DS could certainly vote for Jack, I think he'd go for LSU Book, because in episode 16 it is said that he's friends with Star. So I think DS would help a friend. Next up to episode 15. Everybody's name was said in rapid fire with the exception of Star and Triangle. Well, here's what I noticed. By now, everybody, or almost everybody, are divided in groups. Firstly, we have the most obvious one, Board, Frisbee, and Crystal, who made an alliance. Dr. Lemon and Jack, who also made an alliance. Ball and Triangle, who were friends as seen in episode 14. MP3, Star, and DS, who were shown to be friends in episode 16, and Lightning Bolt, who's alone. Well, who votes for who? I think MP3, Star, DS would also vote for Triangle, because in episode 16 they're all friends and they wouldn't vote for Star. The next most obvious group is obviously Ball and Triangle, who would vote for Star, because why would they vote for Triangle? Triangle would vote for herself and Ball is Triangle's friend. Lightning Bolt would almost certainly vote for Star as well. He voted for Star in the past episodes, and I don't see why he wouldn't do that on this one. We only have a few people left, and so here's what I think is next. Jack and Dr. Lemon, I think they'd go for Triangle. Not only did Dr. Lemon say he doesn't have an alliance with girls, that one episode, in episode 14 I believe, but besides that, I think there's a bigger chance they vote for Triangle than for Star. Because I think they see Triangle as more of a threat, and they might still not be over the episode 12 thing. Last up are Board, Frisbee, and Crystal. They're obviously gonna vote for Triangle, not just because of the thing from episode 12, but also because if I put them with Star, they'd be the majority. But Triangle wasn't one of them in that episode, and not Star. So, these guys all vote for Triangle. Episode 18 is going to be the quickest one. Because, first of all, the groups are almost pretty much already set. DS, Lightning Bolt, and Dr. Lemon, firstly. Star and MP3. Frisbee and Crystal, and Ball. I'm already gonna begin with the obvious ones. These two go for Lightning Bolt, and these three go for Crystal. Why? Simple. I'm pretty sure Frisbee and Crystal vote for Lightning Bolt because he's probably the worst contestant in this game for them. Because I think they find him annoying and all that. Alongside that, Star only got one vote, and I don't think they wouldn't vote themselves. So by process of elimination, it's Lightning Bolt. The three that voted for Crystal probably did it because of the whole threat thing. And as much as DS acted in a smug way against Lightning Bolt when LB was eliminated, I think it's more likely they still will side with him against Crystal than side against him. To make a majority, or a plurality at least, Star and MP3 are gonna go for Lightning Bolt. And Ball goes for Star, because Star got a vote, which was his, and hers. With that, we end this video. This video was pretty difficult to make, honestly, because I had to think quite a bit for this, but it was still a good video, and I really liked making it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did.